Hi there, amazing day. I want to welcome you to my class. My name is Teacher Jeanette, and today we will talk about classifying materials based on their properties. Do you know that materials have different abilities? But before that, let's talk about matter. Do you know what is matter? It is anything that has mass and volume. Let me give you an example. A tree. A tree is an example of matter. The flower pots, table, and also water. They are examples of matter. And even you. Remember, everybody, that everything we see that is being made of particles of elements and atoms are considered as matter. Let's talk about the properties of materials. Materials have different abilities. They have the ability to float or sink, absorbent or non-absorbent, or materials that absorbs water or not. And they also undergo. There are also materials undergo decaying or non-decaying. Let's start from materials that absorb water. Let me give you an example. A tissue paper, sponge, a towel, and a cotton balls. These materials have tiny hole spaces beneath. When a liquid such as water comes to contact with these tiny holes or spaces, then it absorbs. Materials that absorb water have common physical properties, and those properties are what we call capillarity. It is the liquid's special ability to pass through narrow spaces without the assistance of an external force like gravity. Example, the sponge with holes. And there are also materials that have no holes but are still able to absorb liquid because these materials have very tiny holes. Example, let me give you the examples. A sponge that has a microscopic hole or clothes that seems to have no hole. And that ability of unabsorbent materials is what we call porosity. Then let's proceed to another ability of a material. Materials that float or sink. What do you mean by float and sink? Let me give you the meaning. Float means to stay in a surface of water without drowning, just like these pictures. While sink means to fall below the surface of the water. Why does an object float or sink? An object sinks if the weight of the water it displaces is less than its own weight. And an object floats if the weight of the water it displaces is more than its own weight. Then what makes the object float or sink? It's because of its density. Density, it is the amount of matter present in a given volume of a substance or an object. Remember this, materials that are less dense will float over materials that are denser, and materials that have bigger density than water, it sinks. Then let's proceed to materials that undergo decay. Materials can be classified as biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Biodegradable refers to material that has the ability to decay. Like this, some biodegradable materials decay very fast. This includes fruit peelings, seed and stems of fruits and vegetables. They can be made into compost that help improve the soil. While non-biodegradable materials are materials that do not decay or will take a long period of time to decompose with the help of Mother Nature. Non-biodegradable materials are those that will not decay. Examples are bottles, plastic bottles, and these tires. These materials are usually sold to recycling stations to be melted and be used again. Do you know that decaying materials can be toxic or poisonous? Oh, they are not safe to your health and the environment. Decaying materials such as garbage or decaying foods, plants, and animals have a high amount of bacteria. It is the bacteria that cause the decay of the materials. This high amount of bacteria can have a very serious effect to one's health. They have a very bad odor, and we should not be exposed to them for a long period of time. So, stay healthy, helpful, and calm. Don't forget to wash your hands, eat your greens, of course, wear your mask, and be careful. Thanks for watching.